You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano.
And I'm Evan Closky.
Host of Locked On Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thanks for making the Locked On Rays podcast your first listen every day. And remember, the Locked On Rays podcast is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube at Locked On Rays. This episode is brought to you by Spotify Green Room. Download the app and join Ulises and I this weekend to get in on the Tampa Bay Rays action and conversation. That is Spotify Green Room. It is a Friday show, which means we're once again joined by 10 Tampa Bay WTSP sports director Evan Closky. I will say the hardest working man in show business, sports television business. He attends a game as a fan on a Saturday and then jumps down to snag interviews after the Tampa Bay Rays clinched the AL East title. Man, I hope you got some stipend or overtime for wheeling that together on Saturday evening.
Well, you know what? I had to trade the brewskis for the foot-long hot dog. That was the move. And, Giancarlo Stanton was able to hit that slammerooski. So, yeah, it turned into a work day pretty quickly. But you know what? Those nights are fun. I can't really complain about logging hours on a Saturday night when you get to enjoy the trot bumping like it was, and also see all those guys on the field having a great night, a well-earned, AL East title, and just seeing them enjoy that moment and having, an up-close viewpoint of seeing it all happen. That I'll trade that in for an off day or a couple of beers any night. Not every night.
And back-to-back AL East champs. And not only that, they kept going after Saturday. So now they're up to 98 wins, making that franchise record. Are we going to see 100 from this team? They've got 4 games left. They only need to win 2. Are we going to see that, Evan?
Yeah. I think we're going to get 100 on the nose. I think they'll go, 2-2 down the stretch here. And I think they'll get it. I think that's something where they want to hit that benchmark. You're always trying to achieve goals throughout a season, and obviously winning the division, that is the biggest goal that you write down on the board when you enter the season. But now that they did it so early, it's like, well, if we're here, might as well reach 100 and do something where it's going to be pretty darn hard for the next team to go past us, and you create a benchmark for all those future teams. Which, if we look down at the minor league system, feels like it could be broken in due time with what they're cooking up.
Who was the best interview you had on Saturday? Who was the most lively, energetic, and had the best quotes, comments, etc.?
Yeah, it's funny. I really wanted Phillips, and I thought we were going to get Brett Phillips, but he just came out in a watermelon T-shirt, and just poof, he was gone. He was running around. He did his airplane move, and then he was gone. So I was upset about that. But I was able to talk with Shane McClanahan. I thought he was really excited. First and foremost, he was before the interview. He had the cigar in his hand, and he's trying to find someone to drop the cigar. I'm just like, dude, just look, you won, rock that thing, man. I don't give a crap, Just the viewer doesn't care. Go have fun with it. But him talking about just how him and Philly, they have a sense of pride here. Just him being a USF product. Philly being from the area, obviously, that it just kind of means just a little bit more. Yeah. Actually, a sleeper for the best soundbite was Eric Neander. Eric Neander looked like he had a couple of cold ones before talking with us, and he just also seemed like a guy who was so happy with what this team accomplished, and he was in the moment, and that's what you want for a guy who everyone questioned before the season. We're seeing all the hot takes on social media right now, right? Everyone's digging up those old Padres are going for it, and the Rays are being the Rays. And he said that. I asked him. I was like, if I told you were going to be on the precipice of winning 100 wins before the season, would you believe me? Is that something that you would actually like realistically tell me that like, oh yeah, we can do that. And he said, like, I don't know about 100 wins, but he said that we were definitely way more confident in what we were doing than what everybody else was saying, and that they had a plan. Things have fallen into place. He said, if you factor in using 61 different players at that point, maybe then he would have thought you were a little bit crazy. But at least entering the season, they believed that they were going to do this. So that just kind of shows you the smarts and the brains behind the operations, and just, a little bit of a vindication of, trading Blake Snell, a move that was not popular in this area, which happens, once every 5 years, where you got to say goodbye to somebody that you love. And look at this, look at them now.
Well, you talk about Neander, and he was the one that said the transition year.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one that set that moniker for 2021, and we all took it to mean something else. But now, hindsight being 2020, it was just, look, 2.5 months of Rich Hills and the Walkers carrying us, and then the young ones are going to take the ship. I mean, you've got Boss, McClanahan, Patino, Rasmussen, Randy Rosarena, Wander Franco, all these young rookies who are just now pushing the train. It's really impressive.
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah,
it's amazing what this team has built. And Brandon Lau, I think, said it, where he was just like, eventually when you're in that clubhouse, you stop questioning moves that the front office does, that like emotionally you're like, man, it doesn't seem right. It seems like a bad move. But then just time and time again, Eric Neander and company, they prove that what they're doing works. You're going to field a winner. There's never a step back in the product, at least intentionally. It's not like the Rays have won every season here. But, at least this kind of feels like the start of a really glorious run for this franchise, as a lot of things colliding at the right points, where the budget looks correct, the young talent looks correct, and they have about like a 3-4 year window here where they can nurture all of that before they have to go and start selling off pieces once again.
It's good to hear that Neander was not his typical robotic self. He actually gave some lively quotes. That's good to hear for a change. One thing that did overshadow the Rays winning the AL East title and the amazing season that they've had thus far was an announcement that they were going to be promoting the split season plan with Montreal. There'd be a little advertisement in foul territory, right field side. That generated a lot of negativity from the fan base and otherwise. And just a mere couple days after that announcement was made, I believe it was Topkin who put it out there on Saturday. I think it was Monday evening, Tuesday, that Stu Sternberg gets on the radio and says, our bad. We kind of misread the situation there, and we're not going to be promoting the Montreal split city deal with a banner advertisement at the ballpark. Evan, you've worked in sports media a long time. I don't know if you've ever heard or seen anything like this, but what's your take on this whole matter here?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I think this goes back to the interview you guys had with Dave Sampson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stu is not a good enough villain, right? You have to be hated to do the things that you want to do selfishly. And I'm not saying that we have to agree that that's the right thing to do for Rays fans. We all know what that's all about. I'm just saying, for him personally, and the way he's thinking, the way he wants to conduct his business, I just don't think he's that like a bad enough guy, even though obviously Rays fans are angry with this whole situation. But he floated this idea out there. We were all talking on Saturday, and we saw that news come across, and it was like, look, it's a great idea for publicity, because guess what? The playoffs are going to begin, and those national telecasts are going to point that camera right at that dang thing. They're going to showcase it, and it's going to be all over every single broadcast, which is the marketing that they want. Having said that, I guarantee you people within that organization, maybe Cash, even the players said, hey, screw you. right? Like we are about to win 100 games. We are the best team that you have ever fielded at Tropicana Field. We are making history right now. And you want to completely take the conversation off of this team and put it to something that's off the field. Like, that is not fair for this group. So there's a moral side, and then there's a business side. And I think Stu said from a business perspective, this makes a lot of sense. And then people who have been going to work every day for him and putting forth a tremendous effort on the field, and the people behind the scenes to make sure the people on the field are doing their jobs well, they were pissed, and rightfully so. And I think that Stu said, you know what, you guys are right, and I'm wrong in this situation, and it's not worth it. So he got the publicity that he needs anyway, though it's going to be a lot more when you have more eyeballs on the playoffs. Having said that, it's going to be a continued discussion, something that is not going away. They're still very much behind the Sister City plan. There's still so much to iron out with that thing. I really still don't get it from a black and white standpoint. I don't get why you are splitting your fan base, because if you think fans are apathetic now to going to the Trop, they're going to be completely apathetic when they got the team half of the season. And I'm sure there might be something behind the scenes where it's like, well, they'll be the first like MLB team to create 2 TV deals, right? They can have one in Canada, and then they can have one down here. And if the regional sports networks are the biggest moneymaker for all these teams anyway, doubling that and saying, well, screw the fans, I don't need their money anyway now. I don't care if 5,000 people show up. Doesn't matter to me. Daddy's got his dough. So I'm sure there's a lot more from a business side that we need to learn and comprehend, but just from an emotional standpoint, from an appreciation standpoint, from nurturing a fan base here, I don't know. The Bucks have it, the Lightning have it. I don't get why the Rays can't have it. I really don't.
Evan, before I get to ask you if you like chess, because I do want to ask you if you like chess, I got to tell you about Built Bars, Evan, because they're just so darn delicious and they're so healthy. They've got so many flavors. You've got coconut, raspberry, mint brownie, double chocolate, strawberry, orange, cookies and cream. They've got them all. And you know what? If you can't decide and pick one, you can get a mixed box where you get 2 of each of the 9 flavors. They're all tasty. They're all healthy. 17 to 18 grams in protein, only 4 to 5 grams sugar. The calories range from 130 to 180. You've got to get yourself some Built Bars. So how do you get some? Well, you go to built.com. But before you hit that purchase button, you got to hit that promo code. Locked15, LOCKED15 to get 15% off of your order. So use promo code Locked15 at built.com.
Here's an idea where they were going to put that advertisement for Montreal. They could just put a Built Bar ad there. Place it. And there you go. Evan, going to put you on the hot seat here. 2028. Where are the Rays playing?
Oh. I honestly, I don't know. It's one of those, like, I think I'm torn. It's 50-50. I really think this is a 50-50 proposition. I totally think that they can work something out in town, or maybe I'll say 60-40, right? If the Sister City plan is the big one, I mean, they're still technically in our area and they will be around and they'll still be, the team you can root for, and just in what capacity, But having said that, there's got to be, the stadium stuff has to be ironed out. And, it's just such an intricate thing to leave St. Pete. Stu would lose a lot of money in the area that way, so there has to be a lot of like sweeteners in this deal for him to head over to Tampa. And at least if you went to Ybor City, the housing prices over there, if you can get your hands onto whatever they're developing over there and building up, then maybe that can supplant the the loss that you're going to have in St. Pete when St. Pete completely explodes if Tropicana Field gets bulldozed, right? I mean, that whole area is gone. They can build something really beautiful. If you've seen any of those proposals, you know, you can have a big old outdoor mall, a lot of things that can happen there, which a lot of non-baseball fans would love. So, and right now, you know, Stu's got a hand in some of that stuff. So, you know, I hate to sidestep this, but I just don't know. I don't know either way. I think we're stuck right in the middle still.
Well, I wasn't really kidding about the chess question. Do you think Stu is playing 4D chess here, and just kind of doing the sign at the time that he's doing it to rev up some hatred? He's making himself be the villain, so that the fans now put some push into city government and saying, you better not be for this two-city proposal. We got to get these guys in Tampa. Do you think that that's what he wants, so he can get a better deal in a stadium in Tampa?
You know, I think that Stu is certainly many moves ahead of all of us in this conversation right now. You know, there's so much that we don't know. There's also so much from a city council standpoint that we don't know either. And, you know, they also have to weigh the cost benefit for their residents and what, you know, well, if we don't have the Rays, what does that look like? Are we making more money? What can we do with that area? Is that going to be better for our area than the Rays and having, you know, this ugly bubble sitting there? So there's a lot of hard conversations that still need to go on. And again, like, we still haven't hit that, like, it better be done soon, because it's really by the end of 2022 is when it's starting. That's, to me, when it's like, hey, we're losing time here, losing a lot of time. And now things are in trouble. So right now is still very much in the phase of, I'm going to bluff. I'm going to try to piss you off. I'm going to try to do all these things to rile you up to get what I want, because my back isn't against the wall yet. So why am I going to capitulate if my back isn't against the wall? Like, for me to give up on this stance, you're going to have to give me everything. I'm not ready for the compromise until the 11th hour. So, there's so many questions with each individual topic. Like, the whole Montreal thing is a whole laundry list of questions. St. Pete's a whole laundry list of questions. Moving to Ybor City's a whole list of, it's not as easy as fans put it, where it's like, just moving to Tampa. Like, there's a whole, it's a whole podcast. We got to commit to it, and we got to really get caught up in the weeds. I mean, it's a real, like, we got to have a really boring podcast where we just go through the nitty gritty, and we're talking about city planning and
civil engineers. And
we got to bring in guests.
Here's my idea. Split city proposal. You have half the season in Tampa, half the season in St. Petersburg. There, boom, done. Solved it. Problem solved.
There we go.
I would, for me, to me, I don't know why you have to go to Montreal, right? Wouldn't it be cool if you can, like, build an outdoor stadium in Tampa and then have the Trop as a backdrop? Now, that's, I mean, the city would have to pay. Like, Stu cannot pay for both. You know, like, so, the city would have to pay for that stadium so that Stu isn't incurring any costs. Thus, it makes more sense for him. So that's the complicated portion there. But I think ideally that would be a ton of fun. And, you know, you would have, like, and honestly, like, you can avoid rain delays that way. You can just, you know, you can say, hey, this game's being moved, but whatever.
Getting to some on the field discussion here, Ulises, we put out a question on Twitter to our listeners as to who will be the AL Rookie of the Year. I cannot remember the last time I was actually this excited about an awards race, let alone a Rookie of the Year award race. And there's a lot of candidates and a lot of shifting, and it's a very fluid situation. You have Randy Arozarena, you have maybe Wander Franco with tying and maybe after tonight surpassing Frank Robinson for that on-base streak by a player 20 years or younger, or age 20 years, whatever the saying is. Shane McClanahan, Luis Garcia, Adolis Garcia, Ryan Mountcastle is in the conversation. Even Indians closer Emmanuel Clase. There might be a player that we don't know about. And we put it out on Twitter, and some people are super sure that it's going to be Wander. There's some people that are super sure that it's going to be Randy Rosarina. There's a contingent out there that believes it's going to be Ryan Mountcastle, believe it or not. Evan, to get your take on this, A, who do you think should win AL Rookie of the Year? And B, who do you think will actually win it? And I guess those could be the same person.
I think Randy is for both. I think Randy should win it, and he's going to win it. Randy's right now the odds-on favorite to win it, with Mountcastle being second. Wander Franco has made an incredible surge, and if he played another month, then I would be telling you that Franco is my guy. But what I always like to tell people is that the Rookie of the Year is not who is the best rookie, because that's Wander Franco. It is who had the best rookie season, and that is Randy Rosarena. He's had ups, he's had downs, but in the end, he's played every single game out there. You know, he hasn't been injured. You get what I'm saying. He takes a day off a week, but he's been an integral part to this lineup. They're a team that's going to win 100 games, and I don't see how you can go in a different direction. Ryan Mountcastle's numbers are fantastic, and I think if he were to win it, I would not be opposed to it at all. It's my belief that Randy has had a more impactful season, especially, you know, a lot of the times these awards come down to a little bit of what the team has done to provide a little bit perspective on what the individual has done. And I don't like to solely go to that factor, but I think in a tiebreaker scenario, that is where I look. And, you know, I think that's where I am. Mountcastle's close. Randy is just a little bit ahead. And, you know, Adolis Garcia dropped off big time after his hot first half. Wander, I think, might be third, just because of name value alone. A lot of people in baseball know Wander Franco. Obviously, 43 straight games on base streak is tremendous. So I think he'll get a lot more love than maybe what others would have thought when he came up originally and said, oh, he's never going to have enough time. But I do believe he's just 1 month short of making that final push to be Rookie of the Year.
You've got a guy who has played 137 games to one that's played 66. I don't think that's almost as comparing a guy a season in 2020 to a guy in 2021. Like I mean, it's almost apples to oranges. And I understand that Wander Franco has had just a tremendous rookie season, and the fact that it took him a month to basically adjust to Major League Baseball and then just hit like one of the best hitters in baseball, that's unreal. But I got, just like if there's an MVP race and a guy who just has tremendous numbers is playing for a fourth team in a division, and another guy has maybe not quite the same numbers, but just a tad below, but helped his team win the division, I gotta go with the guy with the division. And this is kind of the same argument here. I gotta go with the guy who's played 140 games, not the guy who didn't play 70.
Yeah. No love for Luis Garcia.
Yeah, and to that point, I think you're seeing that play out like on the flip side in the NL MVP. Like for me, Fernando Tatis is the MVP, despite the fact that Bryce Harper is right behind him, despite the fact that the Phillies were a better team and made a nice push there because of Harper. To me, Tatis is just it. Like, that's the guy. And it is a dang shame that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is not going to win MVP. Like, it is insane to me that you had him and Ohtani. Like, for me, I would love to give Vladdy the NL MVP and Ohtani can take the AL, but you cannot not give Ohtani the AL MVP.
Right.
Yeah. You know, because the fact of the matter is, the guy pitches too. And that's just, no matter what you say, and anybody out there wants to build an argument for Guerrero Jr., I love you. I love the guy, but no, like the dude pitches. Like the guy literally, it's like, no, like the guy, he has like 25 plus stolen bases, 45 bombs, and like a 3-something ERA. Like, get out of here. Like we do not talk about him enough.
he has behaved like MLB is Little League. He's the best kid on the team, and so he is the starting pitcher, and he will steal bases, and he has pop. Like, he made the highest level of baseball his Little League. So yeah, give him the MVP, 100%.
Yeah, if not for Ohtani, the Angels might have like 35 wins, honestly. That might be the difference maker there. By the way, before moving along here, I will note that the AL Rookie of the Year has, I mean, for the last decade, mostly been an offensive award. So that's maybe where Luis Garcia gets a little bit of a drawback. But if you look at the WAR leaders for rookies in the American League, according to Fangraphs anyway, they have Garcia at the top at 3.1. Adolis Garcia and Randy Arozarena tied at 2.8. Wander in, what is it, 66 games, 67 games now? 2.5. Yeah. So he is climbing up there. He's actually ahead of Shane McClanahan, who's at 2.4. Yeah. Amino Clase, 2.1. And Ryan Mountcastle, I think, because of the defensive metrics, he's at 1.6, but the offensive numbers certainly are impressive from Mountcastle. So there we go. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say Wander wins it. I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that it is the BBWAA, and we've seen some quirky voting before.
Sure.
So I think some of these guys, it could be a lot of votes will be pulled in one direction. Some guys voting for Garcia, some guys voting for the other Garcia, some guys voting for Clase, maybe one for Mountcastle, and Wander might slip through. Just throwing that out there. That's my little. Hey, maybe I'm sure this is on Bet Online, right, Ulises? Wouldn't this? I'm sure this Rookie of the Year chase is probably a big component of what they're doing right now.
Hey, you know what? Put your green Skittles where your mouth is, Kevin. You got to go to Bet Online, because Bet Online is your number one spot for all the pro and college football actions this season, and baseball too, of course. With a new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests. BetOnline.ag continues to be the number one source for everything football, and of course baseball too. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 100% welcome bonus. That's double your initial deposit just for signing up. Don't forget promo code NFL100 from football, basketball, boxing, and baseball right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. Bet Online, the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. Bet Online, your online sportsbook experts.
We also want to tell you about an incredible app everyone who buys gasoline needs to know about. It's called Get Upside. Listeners can make up to 25 cents for every gallon of gas every time they fill up. Just download the free Get Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now. Use promo code BASEBALL, and that'll get you a bonus 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. That is up to 50 cents cash back. Don't pay full price at the pump anymore. Get cash back using Get Upside. Again, just download the free Get Upside app and use that promo code BASEBALL to get up to 50 cents per gallon cash back on your first tank. Okay, getting to some baseball trivia here. I'm going to lean into this one and really trolling hard here. My question, I've got a Name That War and a trivia question for you both. Canadian-born baseball players. Hey.
Wow. All right. Let's do this.
All right.
Okay.
We better get used to it. We might have to get some Canadian citizenship within the next half decade or so.
Stop it.
Start learning French. Okay. With that, I have in front of me a list of, there are five Canadian-born players to have hit at least 200 career home runs in the majors. We'll let Evan start this off. I would love to get all five of these names, but I'll take three. I'll accept three of the five.
Larry Walker.
Correct. He is the leader, the top dog at 383 dingers, and of course a Hall of Famer as well.
Ulises.
I got you, bro. I got you. Joey Votto.
Joey Votto would be correct. He is number 2 on this list with 330 career homers and maybe a future Hall of Famer.
Oh,
someday.
heck yeah. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Okay.
The OBP king.
I mean, Jim Edmonds didn't get into the Hall of Fame, so I don't know.
I don't know. Jim Edmonds never won an MVP award.
Okay. So one MVP. No, I don't disagree. I'm just saying it's not like I don't think he's necessarily first ballot.
Ulises, like, you ready to have this conversation? You ready to turn this into Locked On Reds?
I know. We got to get our buddy Jeff Carr on the phone. Okay.
Yeah.
That's for another day. That's off-season talk.
You were just so emphatic that he is going to be. I don't disagree.
Okay. Not first ballot, but he's definitely getting in. Okay, let's.
He'll get more than 5% of the vote on the first time through.
Yes.
Okay.
Justin Morneau.
Justin Morneau, and that is correct. He is number 4 on this list with 247 homers. Not a Hall of Famer, I will add. But that is 3. That is technically correct. But because you guys are tag teaming this one, I need all 5 names. I can't let you off the hook.
Man, I'm not boned up on my Canadians.
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
Did we see these 2 guys play?
Yes, you did. One guy. Oh, this is just basically giving it away, but he was a very, very prolific pinch hitter.
Matt Stairs?
Matt Stairs. 265 homers across a 19
There's no way we were going to get Matt Stairs entering this question.
He just did. He just did.
Well, with a clue, we got it.
That deserves a clap. I'm going to give you a clap on that one.
One more.
This last one. He started his career, I believe he started his career with the Pirates. I'm sorry, by the way. Then
Jason
there
Kendall.
was...
That's still the first guy that comes to my mind when I mention the Pirates.
Incorrect, but the first name does start with a J.
Jason
Bay. Wow, you are good.
I beat you. The pride of Gonzaga.
Let's go.
Jason Bay,
maybe the worst man of all
222 career homers. So this was one of those exercises where Evan didn't do really much anything on the project. It was
I got
Ulises.
Jason Bay. Check the tape. Go check the tape. Who got Jason Bay first?
We'll have to go back.
That's 2 from me.
Fair enough. He Evan started it off and then got bored halfway through, and then Ulises had to pull through before
please email lockedonrays@gmail.com and please tell me if you know all the Canadians that have played this game. I need to know. Is this common knowledge? Am I on the outside looking in? I got Larry Walker. And then I am so confident that I got Jason Bay before Ulises. So confident.
Okay.
We'll check the tape. I feel pretty confident about my speed there.
Fair enough. I will say I don't think this question was all that hard though. Like I think
we got it.
Morneau, Walker's an obvious one, and Joey Votto. Like that's your
pretty
three.
good. Pretty good.
Okay. Next question. Also, hey, we better start getting into some Tim Hortons and whatever. I don't know what else. Hockey. We better get more into hockey. Mm-hmm. I'll just say
Maple syrup.
Yeah.
Poutine.
Yes, that
poutine
too.
is excellent.
It is.
If you want to have a conversation about poutine, now we're talking.
Well, talking about Joey Votto's Hall of Fame candidacy. Oh my God, what a podcast!
Poutine just looks like a gross mess.
It's delicious.
Poutine and putts. Boom. That's our off-season conversation there.
Let's make it happen,
there
folks.
We go. Okay, name that war. Eric Bedard. Eric Bedard is from, where was he born here? He's from Navan, Canada.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll be corrected on that one. He went to a high school in Ottawa, so he is as Canadian as it comes. Also, one-time Ray.
Yeah.
I should add.
2014.
Yes. What is Eric Bedard's career WAR?
Okay.
So, man.
Okay. So 2014 was his last year. So then I would say that his first year was around 2005. 2005. 5. Yeah. So then that makes him like a 11-year vet. But just for easy math, let's just take 10. He had like 4 really good seasons, So you could do 4 times 4, that's 16 WAR. Then like maybe 2 seasons where he was 2, so that's 20 WAR. Maybe then 18. I'm gonna go with 19 WAR.
Okay, that is Ulises' guess. 19 WAR. Evan?
I'm gonna go 24.2.
Wow, specific.
Very.
24.2 is Evan's guess. Ulises is closer. 17.4 was Eric Bedard's career.
I thought his peak was better.
Oh man,
he had like a stretch there where he was awesome. I thought he maybe like pumped out like a 6th season.
No, he got hurt, man.
What was his best season?
2007, right? 2007.
And he's never been an all-star either. Wow, 2007. You are correct.
Yeah.
I mean, it technically could have been 2009, but he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there were like 4 or 5 years where he got hurt. So I think that.
So okay, I put him at a 6. He was at a 5 that season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So career ERA.
Whoa, wait a minute. So if you go to Fangraphs, Fangraphs has him at a 23.4.
Hey, easy, Evan. Since the beginning of Name That War, we always specify baseball reference. He's trying to get out of it. What's he doing?
He's trying to pull some Stu Sternberg BS, trying to backtrack this one.
Sorry, no, none of that. I've been given
proof that I almost nailed it on the Fangraphs side of things. My head is just a Fangraphs guy. Like, what am I supposed to do? Is there supposed to be like a calculation that I go and I subtract from the number that I got?
That's what it was.
He's a Fangraphs loyalist.
Yes.
In fairness, they should just BREF and Fangraphs should just combine, merge forces, and just have this is what our WAR metric system is instead of B WAR, F WAR, XYZ WAR. Like because there's sometimes some big differences too with the wars and everything. But anyway, on that note,
both sides are like sitting at the phone, by the way, and they're just like, I'm not going to make the first call. I'm not going to do it.
Not me. Not going to call him.
Who's going to make the deal?
I'm confident that my war is the best war.
There we go. Evan, how can people find your work?
At Closky, WTSP. That's on Twitter. Again, 99.9% of the time. If you hit me up, I'll respond. And then also, please head to 1010bay.com. So much is happening right now in our area, whether it's the Rays heading to the playoffs. We'll be all over that next Thursday and Friday as we got playoff action at the Trop from the Bucks. Big matchup this weekend. I don't know if you heard, but Tom Brady's heading to New England. So we've been talking a lot about that. You can find that on 1010bay.com. And then the Lightning, they just had their first preseason game in Amalie Arena. They're going to be back at it again tonight, a little back-to-back. They actually have a back-to-back-to-back, which is preseason hockey for you. Everybody splits up. But we're about to be getting into Lightning season. So no matter what, 1010bay.com's got you covered. And then you can find me again on Twitter or on Instagram at @eClosky and on Facebook as well.
Hey, don't forget about USF football. They might have a quarterback.
Here we go. They actually,
McClain.
And you know what? To be 1,000% fair, they put in a way better performance than I think anybody would have ever thought in BYU. So tip of the cap for that. Moral victory in defeat. And we're
a women's basketball school. Always have, always will be.
That's right.
That's what we go with.
Yeah.
And producing, I guess, USF. Or baseball draft picks too.
Hello, Shane McClanahan, baby, let's go.
McClanahan's one of them. There's been several others as well. Okay, on that note, thanks again for making the Locked On Rays podcast your first listen every day, and we'll be back next week. In the meantime, be sure to check out the Locked On Bets podcast.